Hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm excited to share a heartwarming story with you titled, Bum the Acrobat King. If you enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Of course, if it's not your style, feel free to skip it, no hard feelings. Now, let's begin the story. If you think your house is just an ordinary home, then you have never met Bum, the furry little daredevil who decided that every piece of furniture, shelf, and curtain is part of his personal jungle gym. Bum doesn't walk, he sprints. He doesn't simply climb, he scales walls like a mountaineer. To him, the sofa is not for sitting. It is a cliff waiting to be conquered. The dining table is not a place for meals. It is a stage for his dramatic leaps. And the wardrobe? Clearly, it is a skyscraper meant for cats who want to practice their rooftop stunts. Each morning begins with the sound of paws tapping like tiny drum beats across the floor. Then comes the thump. Bum has launched himself from the chair to the windowsill. Next is the crash. He has miscalculated and knocked down a harmless flower pot. Finally comes the innocent look, the kind of face that says, "It wasn't me. The universe just pushed it off." Even though chaos follows Bum around like a shadow, it's hard to stay mad when his fluffy tail wags proudly as if he has just won a gold medal in the Cat Olympics. For Bum, climbing is not a hobby, it is a destiny. While other cats may prefer lounging in the sun or curling up on a cushion, Bum sees the world as a giant playground designed only for him. His philosophy is simple. If it looks climbable, it must be climbed. Afternoons with Bum are no less dramatic. Instead of peacefully napping like a normal cat, Bum prefers to host his daily event called the Great Sofa Marathon. The rules are simple. Run across the living room at full speed, jump onto the sofa, bounce off the armrest, land on the carpet, and repeat until the human, that's me, begs for mercy. Sometimes he adds obstacles. A cushion becomes a mountain, a coffee mug on the table becomes a dangerous boulder, and my poor slippers turn into finish line trophies. He doesn't care if I'm sitting on the sofa. In fact, that just makes the game more exciting. My lap becomes a springboard, and my surprised face is just part of the entertainment. There was one unforgettable day when Bum's marathon ended in a spectacular accident. He ran too fast, took off from the sofa arm, and flew straight into the curtains. For a brief moment, he hung there like a superhero caught in action, his back legs dangling in midair. Instead of panicking, he looked down at me with sparkling eyes, clearly proud of his new climbing wall. Of course, gravity eventually won, and Bum landed in a very ungraceful heap. But within 5 seconds, he was back on his feet, ready for another round, his confidence completely unshaken. To Bum, every fall is just a rehearsal for his next big stunt. The sofa marathon is not just a game. It is proof that his energy supply is infinite and that naps are for the weak. You would think that after all this running, climbing, and flying through the house, Bum would collapse into his bed like a normal creature. But no, Bum's idea of resting is as creative as his acrobatics. He naps everywhere. On top of the fridge? Perfect. Inside a cardboard box half his size? Absolutely. Across the keyboard when I'm working? That's a personal favorite. One day, I found him sleeping inside the laundry basket, completely buried under a pile of socks, with only his ears sticking out like tiny antennas. Another time, he chose the fruit bowl as his bed, curling up around the oranges as if they were soft pillows designed just for him. And let's not forget his obsession with lying across doorways, forcing me to carefully step over him as though he were a royal guard blocking the path. But perhaps the funniest part is the way he sleeps. Belly up, paws in the air, mouth slightly open, and a look of complete satisfaction on his face. It's as if he's declaring to the world, "Yes, I conquered the wardrobe, I survived the sofa marathon, and now I deserve this ridiculous nap spot." Watching him sleep so peacefully after hours of chaos makes me laugh every time. He may turn the house upside down, but he also fills it with warmth, joy, and endless entertainment. Bum is not just a cat, he is a daily adventure. Living with him is like sharing a home with a furry comedian who performs stunts, marathons, and dramatic naps on a never-ending schedule. He teaches me something important. Life should not always be about order, rules, and seriousness. Sometimes, it should be about climbing too high, running too fast, and sleeping in the silliest places. After all, Bum's world is one where every corner hides an opportunity for fun, and every mistake turns into a story worth laughing about. And honestly, isn't that the best way to live? Life with Bum, the adventurous little acrobat, reminds us that energy, curiosity, and playfulness are not just for cats. They are qualities we humans should embrace too. In modern life, we often get trapped in routines, deadlines, and responsibilities, forgetting that our world is also a kind of playground waiting to be explored. Bum climbs without hesitation, runs with joy, and finds comfort in the most unexpected places. His fearless approach is a gentle reminder that sometimes we should take risks, step outside our comfort zones, and see challenges as opportunities instead of obstacles. Just as Bum turns the sofa into a marathon track and the curtains into a climbing wall, we too can reimagine our daily surroundings with creativity. Instead of waiting for perfect conditions, we can find joy in small, ordinary things, like turning chores into a game, finding calm in chaos, or making time for laughter in stressful days. And just like Bum who naps proudly anywhere he pleases, we should also give ourselves permission to rest when we need it, without guilt. Modern life can feel overwhelming, but if we live with curiosity, courage, and a little playfulness, every day can become more meaningful and full of joy.